Hi there, Scorpio. It's your turn. Path to Abundance. Scorpios. Love this for you. It's going to be coming out on Monday. It's going to be great. It's going to be a watery day. Monday before. Hopefully folks get a little couple of days off and things before Black Friday. So let's see what we have on the Path of Abundance for our Scorpio. Let's see what they're... Oh, okay. Your first card is having a moment. Oh, Six of Pentacles. All right. There's some balancing out that needs to happen here. There's a little overgiving or overtaking. Let's see what route we get. We can give the clarifiers to see which one we're going at. Oh, you are not trusting some folks. I would like to know, is this you or is this the other energy? King of Chalices. Okay, Scorpio. Well, there's still two ways to read this because you're showing up. You could be showing up in either way. Okay. So, someone is either taking too much, needs more assistance than what they feel like they're getting, or someone is constantly feeling like they're giving more than what they're getting in return. There is an imbalance. Somebody got their hand out and somebody's got to put some money in there, okay? Trying to help out. We have a Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is going to be, we love expansion. We love like pushing a little bit further. You know, after a Six of Swords where you're heading from a, darker place, maybe a little depressed, maybe a little sad, stressed out into a lighter situation, it's kind of revealed and you start questioning like, hey, I feel like not everything is adding up here. All right. I feel like there's some individuals that have been keeping things from me, that have not been showing up. It's also saying that maybe you're feeling like you need to be a little smarter about how you're going about things, a little bit more clever in how you're going about things, how you're communicating, what you're sharing about what's going on with you. This could be you. King of Chalices is definitely Scorpio energy. That's highest water energy. And it's coming in a very strong position. It's saying, so, you may be feeling like you have to invest more in other people or in your work and your business than what you're getting out of it. That people are asking you for money, they're asking you for resources, but they're maybe not being as honest with you as you would like for them to be. Or you're feeling like you need to make better choices about your investments, about where you're putting this time and money. We get a Queen of Swords here, so there may be someone who's coming in to offer you some advice, coming in to offer you some insights and some clarity, but you also may need to, Queen of Swords is always my boundaries card, you may need to be just making better boundaries, especially about the money that you give out, the time and energy and support you give out, so that way you're not overextending yourself, so that way you are better able to manage your time and your resources, and you're able to build more trust with yourself and others. I am only taking this card. So your next card is the Three of Wands. So once you balance these things out, once you stop overgiving, once you quiet your mind, you may just need to have a conversation about these doubts that you have or these suspicions that you have, or just be really smart about how you're going about things. But once you get some of this balance going on, I've been looking at this as the last 2 weeks in November, beginning of December, first 2 weeks in December is how I feel like this is playing out. Once you do this work over here over these next 2 weeks, you're going to get to this Three of Wands. Let me talk a little bit more about what's going on right now. So right now we're experiencing this Mars Cazimi this weekend. By the time you get this reading, that will have already technically ended. But, the energy's still there. The Mars doesn't move that fast. So Mars is in your sign. It's at home. It's been riling things up. There's been a lot going on as far as like information coming out, people needing to give money to other people, like resources being redistributed, all of that fun stuff. And so for you, you might have really been feeling this and understanding that like the current way that things are going, the current investments that you've made in folks, the current way that you feel maybe taken advantage of, it's not something that's working for you. This is not functioning for you. You're not satisfied or happy in this situation. And you've had to put some boundaries into place. You've had to speak up a little bit. I know the girls like to tussle. Okay. I know things have been a little rocky for some folks. But for you in this case, it's really about like getting to this point of doing this really deep introspective work about your value, about your worth, about your investments in others. You know, Scorpio is a sign of rebirth, revitalization, of clearing out the old and making way for the new. And so if you put a lot of time and energy into something that's just really not giving you the return on investment that you really like to have, like it's okay to let that go. Or it's okay to say that like, hey, like, let me be honest with you about what I'm seeing. Let me show up in the fullest, highest extent of who I am and just speak from my heart and be very open and honest with you. And let me tell you about what can work for us to actually move forward and what won't, and figure out if that's going to happen. Now, what we're going to be seeing at the beginning of December is that Three of Wands energy. When you set those boundaries in place, it's going to give you a little bit more space to relax, a little bit more space to see like some information coming in and things get moving. We have a 5, the Hierophant, and so there may be you may be seeking advice. So you may be getting an advisor coming in. You may be needing to access an advisor. Perhaps this messages that are coming in are advice coming from someone who's like saying like, hey, I took a look at, you know, your money. I took a look at your business. I took a look at your, what is that called? Your transcripts. And I saw that like, hey, you know, you need this many credits, or hey, like you need to balance out this account. You need to invest more over here. You need this for retirement. You know, like whatever it is, it's like this topic that you really need to balance out. And you know what that is. I'm not going to get into it more because I'm like, I know that when I say there is something that you're overgiving and you're not getting a return on investment in it in the way that you should be, or you're needing more help than what you're getting, you know what it is. There's going to be someone who's going to come in and help you out with that. Just get you some clarity on that. You're going to have some conversations. Ooh, it's a tower moment. It's a revelation for you. I don't know if you're expecting it or not. I don't know if the information, the feedback that you get is something that you are anticipating, Scorpio. But whatever it is, it's going to be something that's going to open you up to say that, like, you may have been more dependent, I think, on this connection, this relationship, than what you needed to be. And you might not have realized that you didn't need that you didn't need the support in the way that they were showing up, that you really had all the skills. Like, you were really running the show, even though you might have been more in the background, or that it's like, okay, it's time for me to take this power back because you've been supporting other people, which has kept you from really being able to make the strides that you've wanted to. But there will be an ending coming on, and it will be very empowering for you. So I love that for you. Beginning of December. Beginning of December is looking like super wonderful and empowering for you. And there's going to be a choice that's going to come from this. I would spend some time thinking that through. We get an 8 of Wands in reverse. So we have some like power looking out here. We have some, you know, plans that maybe need to go into place that were solid, but, you know, maybe they're not so solid anymore. They're a little bit more up in the air than what they used to be. And you get a King of Pentacles. Let me get this last card so I can see what we get. And a Knight of Swords. I think there's some grounding that needs to be happening. With this Two of Swords, especially with like things kind of being a little bit more up in the air, I think with this empowerment piece over here, you're feeling a little less like, oh, for sure, I know where I'm going to spend my time and my energy, to like, oh, okay, I need to make a choice about where I'm going to put my investments now, where I'm going to put my energy now. And there may be a earth sign that comes in, King of Pentacles energy that comes in that says like, hey, like, let me help you to really solidify things. But you may also be starting to and needing to start showing up in your life as the King of Pentacles instead of being more in this, in your heart space or in this giving space, this really supportive space, saying like, hey, I need to look at the bigger picture here and making a choice that's going to really be more helpful for yourself and your community as opposed to just like individual people. But we also get a Knight of Swords, which is like really quick messages. There's a lot of conversations that need to happen. There's a lot of conversations that need to be happening here around boundaries, around unequal investment of time and energy and money, you know, and you have a big choice, I think, to make that's going to come in. I'm going to pull a little bit more. I want to get one about this 8 of Wands. I'm going to pull another clarifier for this 8 of Wands. King of Swords, yeah, there's a lot of conversations that need to come here. I would advise at this time, because things are kind of up in the air, you need to make the really logical choice. The really logical choice is going to also be the most financially stabilizing for you and the most financially wise one. I would also say that, like, don't get caught up in maybe feeling like you were a little naive or looking at things through rose-colored glasses. You need to be really honest, really upfront about things. With a Two of Swords, that choice coming in, things not being really stabilized, and you moving to a space to, like, stabilize them, to actually, like, manifest, create these things from, like, they're up in the air. Everything's up in the air right now. And so you're needing to, like, pick some of these wands out of the air and like ground some of them, to pick some of these ideas, to take some of this new work, this could be a new job or new projects, and saying, like, which one of these projects am I actually going to go forward with? This could be like, which house am I going to get? Which apartment am I going to choose? Which car am I going to, I don't really see car, but, like, which apartment am I going to get? Where am I going to move to? Which job am I going to take? Where am I going to volunteer? Whatever it is, like, whatever it is, you need to pick something, and everything's a little bit more up in the air. You need to take the logical route. You need to not get into your feelings about, like, if you feel a little, I don't want to say guilty, but if you're like, oh my gosh, I was so naive, and, like, all the time and energy I was investing in this that, like, it really wasn't going anywhere. To say, like, don't let that influence you to the point where you're making a decision that's not in your best interest. Like, really think things through, have a lot of conversations about what's going on and about, like, what the next steps actually look like. And you really need to make sure that, like, you got to get, I love you, Scorpio, but you got to get out of your heart a little bit. You got to get out of your feelings. I know this Mars energy is really intense, but you got to balance that out and, like, really just, like, get into your mind, take a lot of deep breaths, do a lot of, like, meditation, slow down and have conversations and look at the reality of what's going on, because part of what might be something that's been happening is a distortion of the facts and a distortion of the past, and what happened, like people gaslighting you into making new investments or making new choices. So, like, really make sure that, like, you're just looking at the facts, you're looking at the numbers, you're looking at the facts, you're looking at what makes the most sense for yourself as you move forward. And that's the decision, that's the route that I would say to take. So that's first 2 weeks in December. We have Temperance, balancing out your heart and your mind. Like I said, don't lean too far into anyone. I, though, would really definitely say, like, you do need to really, you need to focus on what makes logical sense here. I think there's a temptation or a possibility that you could be overcome by your emotions. And so, like, balance that stuff out. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Do not overwork yourself. Again, if it's something that's coming in that's like, oh, it's an overpromise of your time and your energy, do not sign up for it. And you may need to just be taking a break. Maybe you are like, you know what? Okay, whatever I'm signing up for, the start date needs to be January 1 or something. Or, like, obviously nobody wants to work on the 1st, but, like, January 2nd or something. You know, like, it needs to be, it needs to be something where you're having time to yourself. And you're not going to just be, like, jumping in immediately and working. And it also needs to be something where, like, with this Queen of Wands in reverse, this end of the reading is concerning to me. Balance out your heart and your mind. Don't jump into anything immediately. Are these cards upside down? They are not. Oh, my goodness. Don't take the first offer. Make sure you're really, like... you're really feeling confident and self-assured in this space. Like, this is such slow down energy, and, like, take your time. It's like a offer comes in and you don't take it. One, you're worried about the past, and that's why I was like, you know, yeah, like, don't feel guilty, just take a logical route. But the offer comes in and you're like, no, thank you. Maybe it's not something that's going to allow you that balance that you need and get you out of this space of overgiving, oversharing, taking advantage of you. I just want one card. Like, give me, like, one card. One! This is so annoying. I'm sorry. I just want one card about what's going on with this, like, end of the thing with Scorpio. Okay, a Knight of Pentacles Energy's going to be moving. Don't take your first offer. Don't take the first offer. Maybe you need to do some negotiating. Maybe that's why you got all those swords cards. Maybe there's some negotiations that need to be happening. They need to be really honest conversations. There is going to be investment and space for investment. You may be spending some time, like, taking more time to yourself, getting really clear on things, gaining that wisdom. Like, I think you just need to move slow on this. And, like, just move slow. Just take your time. Don't take that first offer. Definitely don't take that first offer, especially if it feels the same as, like, your past connection, your past, like, situation. That's a boop on that. Okay, if you take your time and you invest in the things that you're actually interested in, like, you're gonna actually find that joy and that happiness. That joy and that happiness, though, is not gonna come from this, like, immediate rush of wanting to fill the space and take this first offer, especially since it seems like there's probably going to be some regret from people who are not showing up in the way that they should have and trying to come back here in this space and, like, push you into making this decision and push you into making a choice. And that's why I'm like, slow down and be really logical, balance your heart and mind out. Like, don't jump into working, like, immediately. Make sure you feel really confident about things, especially if you're questioning yourself. Don't take that first offer. I mean, it doesn't look like you're going to, because there's going to be a better investment for you to make, and you just need to spend a little bit more time by yourself and getting your, like, mind really clear and straight, getting your priorities really clear in space, and that's going to bring you more to a road of happiness, which will bring you more to, like, a sense of abundance than it will be if you just jump immediately into, like, the first thing that pops up for you. So, okay, that's it for you, Scorpios. You want a private reading? I got the link in the description. We will be having, let's see, your next reading that you'll see is going to be the full moon in Gemini. And then after that, we're doing 2024 readings all through the first part of December. Yours will not be out until the second half because I'm doing all of the signs. So I'm going to do the first 6, Aries through Virgo, and then I'm going to do the last 6. So you'll be in that second batch after the new moon in Sagittarius. And then you'll have your 2024 reading. And it's going to be really nice and in-depth. I'm going to get into all of the things, all of the energy, all of that fun stuff. You love to see it. I know it. So right now, I want you to slow down and really take care of yourself, Scorpio. This is a lot. And although I know you're feeling really empowered from this Mars energy, I really wanted to make it so that you're not making snap judgments or decisions or just, like, acting off of your feelings instead of, like, using your logic and your prior experiences to make informed choices. So take your time. Move slow. I know you feel empowered. I know you get this revelation. I know this is going to be good energy over here. Make the wise choices. Take your time. Go slow. Balance your heart and your mind. Don't jump into anything. Better stuff will be coming. Don't jump in. Okay? All right. Love you. See you later. Bye.